Hey guys, Ty here, and I'm bringing you today my first ever Trend Thursday. Now I told you guys about this idea in my last video, which happened also to be my intro video. So let's get this started. Alright, the first thing I want to talk about today is the alleged Eddie Murphy and his death. It was said earlier yesterday that he was in Zermatt, Switzerland, and he was at a ski resort in Zermatt with friends and family. And when he was snowboarding, he went down one of the slopes, and apparently, and I'm quoting this for fact, Murphy lost control of his snowboard and struck a tree at a high rate of speed. Murphy was airlifted by ski patrol teams to a local hospital. However, it is believed that the actor died instantly from the impact of the crash. End quote. Now, the funny thing about this is it was actually used before in another story, and I'll probably put a link into that in the top right hand corner if you look right now. But anyways, the story was used a few years back when they said Jaden Smith, which is Will Smith's son if you didn't know, was also dead in the same pictures, air quotes around that. And it's basically the same story, just different times. And it was also used in a Jim Carrey hoax, I think, back in 2010. So this story has been recycled and just reused for the purpose of making death hoax. I'm surprised people are still falling for it after it's been done about 4 or 5 times, but I guess if you do enough Photoshop and magical writing, you can get away with anything, right? Alright, my second story of the day is the Daniel Tosh rape joke. If you don't know what that is, I'll put a link in the top right hand corner again, but here's the gist of it. Daniel Tosh was at a Hollywood Laugh Factory comedy club, and this lady just was angry at him because he made derogative rape jokes. He basically was making rape jokes, and she said, "Rape jokes are never funny," and that is a quote from the blogger and the blog that she put on Tumblr. And to that, Tosh rebutedly, in his snark and snidey humor, he rebuted, "Wouldn't it be funny if that girl got raped by like 5 guys right now? Like right now. What if a bunch of guys just raped her?" And as you can tell, that's probably bad. However, that is from the account of a friend that went to the comedy club. And, well, you can never really trust that. A better source to trust would be the club owner itself, which he replied that Tosh actually inquired the audience for a topic, and they just suggested rape. And the lady, the blogger that was aforementioned, said, "No, don't do rape, it's too painful. Rape is never funny." Right, like I said earlier. And according to the club owner, Tosh repeated, "Well, it sounds like you just been raped by 5 guys." Or in the past, not currently, but however, that source is also a bit weird because the owner doesn't remember the best. He has a hazy memory. However, he also said that she didn't complain until after the show, which meant that maybe she wasn't that offended, or she just really just wanted some attention onto that for her Tumblr post or something. I don't know, but that's old news. That was yesterday or the day before. That's news. But the big news today is other comedians have actually come on and joined Tosh's side, such as Opie from the radio's Opie and Anthony show. He said, he said, "To all the idiots, I completely support Daniel Tosh being a comic in a comedy club, even if that means rape jokes." Also, news and film tweets. "Going to a Daniel Tosh show and complaining about his humor is like going to a Metallica concert and complaining it's too loud." While both of those are true, it still may be a bit too far on the realm of how Daniel Tosh went. But you know what? If you actually have an opinion, just post it in the comments below. I'd like to hear and see and ingest what you guys believe is the correct response to this. Alright guys, our final big news today is the fact that last week the UN declared that internet access is a innate human right. They passed this declaration last week, and the UN report quoted, "This was to promote and facilitate access to the internet. It was a unanimous resolution, and even China and Cuba, which, if you haven't noticed, are known for their strict internet access regulations, agreed. However, China also did have some concerns, but this was smoothed over, and China ultimately agreed. And another fun fact about this is the resolution came on about the same time the Syrian internet access was cut off. If you don't know about that, 2/3 of Syria had their internet access cut off in part of the crazy Syrian things going on up in there. And to anyone in Syria watching this, yeah, right, you should probably go hide and not get shot, because that is bad, and I am being politically incorrect. Bite me. Alright, so that was our regular news breaking story today. However, I also have some interesting news stories that aren't really covered, or they're more tidbits of information. Like, did you guys know that yesterday was the day that Marty McFly in Back to the Future went into the future? It was July 11th, 2012. I think that's just some amazing stuff. I mean, the movie was made back in the 80s, and they just believed 2012 would have so many more things, but you know what? We're stuck with the regular technology that we've had for years. And let's go on a rant, actually. Let's go on a tangent. You know what sucks? Printers. How come after all these computers, they get these amazing upgrades and new technology and crystal LED, XYZ, RGB, LMNOP things, printers are still using the same crappy archaic technology they did back in the 80s. Printers are just straight up from hell. I mean, they take forever to print. They have as many issues as a modem you get from the 80s if they existed, and overall they're just not fun to work with. However, they are an integral part of our computer experience. Why don't the printer companies just, upgrade it? Right? It's just common sense, man. Alright, that was enough of the tangent. Anyways, another thing that was discovered today was scientists determined that people born deaf process the sense of touch differently than people that are not born deaf. So that means if you become deaf through your life, as in when you're young or when you're old, through accidents or just birth defects or undefects, depending on how you want to take it, you will sense the world differently. And I think it's pretty amazing. I mean, there's scientific evidence to prove that there is a sixth sense, so to speak, or maybe not a sixth sense, but just a heightening of the other senses when one is lost. And I think that's some pretty fascinating stuff. I mean, it reminds me of how Toph was able to footbend back in Avatar: The Last Airbender, for if any of you guys watched that, or not footbend, but see with her feet. See what I did there? I saved myself from the terrible commentary. But yeah, I think it's just very fascinating how that works. And another thing I want to put, tomorrow is Friday the 13th. Get all your lucky horseshoes, four-leaf clovers, rabbit's foot, and other paraphernalia you use to keep yourself safe and protected from the evil wards of bad luck and karma. Because tomorrow, Friday the 13th, it will come to you, and it will get you, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I'll see you later. Alright, if you guys like that, make sure you like and comment to the video. In the top left-hand corner is my previous video, which was just the intro. I don't recommend watching that. In the top right-hand corner is a secret video that take you to fun, super amazing things. Bottom left-hand corner is my channel. The left partition will take you to my channel. The right side will subscribe, so do so if you think this was actually good content. In my right-hand under handle, you can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter so you can stay updated for new things and shows. Alright, see you guys.